Well, the opposition leader, NDP leader Andrea Horwath, has unveiled her party's universal mental health care plan. The $1.5 billion plan would expand counseling and therapy in the province, which would be covered by OHIP. This would include reducing the wait times for children's mental health. The plan would also increase the number of treatment beds for people with complex mental health needs, as well as provide more support for mobile crisis teams.
No one should have to struggle with their mental health alone because they can't afford or find help. No one should go months or years without mental health treatment, and no parent in this province, in Ontario, should ever have to live in fear and dread as their child sits on a mental health wait list that's at an all-time high.
So Horwath's also promising that for every dollar invested in mental health, an additional dollar will be saved for social, emergency, and justice services. Well, as of today, we're almost exactly 2 months from the next provincial election. The platforms are being unveiled, and the pollsters definitely hard at work, as our political strategists standing by. Joining us this morning is Lindsay Finnerman-Gingras. She's the Toronto General Manager at Hill and Knowlton, a consulting company in Toronto. So, Lindsay, thanks for joining us this morning. Let's take a look at Doug Ford first, PC party leader. Childcare deal, check. Budget coming out at the end of this month, check. Rebates on stickers. Pandemic mask mandates have been pulled off, and now he's talking about dealing with the gas tax. I mean, this is it all just leading up to this election. He's sort of ticking off all the boxes voters are looking for, it seems.
It seems every day there's sort of a new announcement that aims at, one, affordability, and two, sort of that post-pandemic, let's get back to normal. So I think, look, the childcare announcement was a big home run for Doug Ford to finally get that signed. You're seeing a lot of cooperation actually between him and the feds as they're looking to hand out money in the post-COVID world. And I think, you're going to see him taking advantage of it, because it's nice to be able to do things like a gas credit and, sort of those things that hit the wallet.
And even the latest poll numbers put the PCs up 14 points over the New Democrats and Liberals, who are kind of fighting out for second at this point.
Exactly. I mean, I think Stephen Del Duca and Andrea Horwath are fighting out for that sort of second place. You saw Andrea, obviously, with the mental health sort of funding announcement. You see Stephen Del Duca out making sort of minimum wage pledges, and they are sort of promising to be the anti-Ford. But the problem would be, if everyone is okay with Ford and if his approval is going back up, then you're fighting for second place, right? You're not really fighting for that first place.
Right. Okay. And right now what we're watching is Stephen Del Duca a couple of weeks ago, Lindsay, announcing some of the planks of the platform from the Liberal Party. He's dropped the glasses, but what more people are paying attention to is the fact that he's dropped the mask, and all those candidates beside him and the people in the room were all maskless. And a lot of people said, hold on a second. You said you were going to be different. You were going to keep masking. You were sort of criticizing the PCs for the way they were handling masking. And now that's kind of derailed the attention away from what Stephen Del Duca was hoping to do.
Yeah, I don't understand the optics of that event. It was all anyone was talking about, and I believe they had to apologize for sort of the number of people and the number of unmasked people in the days to follow, which is certainly not what you want to be talking about in the days after your sort of big first outing. So I don't understand the optics, and I imagine you're going to see some masks put back on. But I think, frankly, they're going to have to be careful, because as Ontarians move on, and if it's no longer popular to be seen to keep those restrictive measures in place, it's not the winning issue maybe they thought it was 6 months ago.
Mental health is an interesting issue that we were just talking about, Andrea Horwath picking up on the idea of covering that with OHIP. We know about the significant crisis and shortages here. What do you make of that as being the sort of issue that she's come out right away within her platform?
I think it's incredibly smart. I think it's sort of the shadow pandemic we've all been talking about, the sort of mental health crisis. She has that warm sort of, and I mean this in the best way, mother energy to her that I think when she talks about the mental health struggles, it really comes across as someone who's probably lived in and around those experiences. So I think it's a really smart place for her to play. I just think Andrea, is facing, this is a couple times out. She's now been in an election. So for her to punch through is even harder, because she's not new to people, right? Whereas Stephen still has that new factor.
Yeah, okay, listen, Lindsay Finnerman-Gingras, we always appreciate the insights you bring to the program, and thanks for joining us again this morning. I'm sure we'll be talking between now and Election Day. Have a great one.
It's great to chat.
Thank you.